Cheers, y'all. Happy 4th. So, I want to talk about the importance of identity, how you see yourself, how you view the world, and how you view yourself, and how you view others ultimately creates your experience, your reality. So, it's known as self image psychology, psychocybernetics by Maxwell Maltz goes over this phenomenal book. Matt Fury totally locks down on all things self image. Great resources to look into and check in on this. But everything that we can encompass around self development, around results, coaching, business, family, love life, fitness, health, social life, everything ultimately comes down to self image, self image psychology. How you view yourself, how you view the world, how you view others, and how you view how they're viewing you. Your perception is your reality. And over time, we start to shape and create an identity. At first, as a kid, as a little kid, you're running around. One day you're Superman, the next day you're a fireman, the next day you're an army, soldier. Next day you're a race car driver. Next day you're married. Next day you're whatever. Like we played it all, right? As kids, we played it all. And at the drop of a dime, you could take on that character and just be that and pretend to be that and use your imagination to ultimately create that reality, right? You played real, real play. Like you're totally immersed in it, totally embodied it, totally had fun with it. And then over time, society, parents, upbringing, experience, challenges, situations end up checking your ass along the way. And the play gets less real. The play gets less immersive. The imagination gets a little less sharp, dulls down a little bit. Because we start taking on facts, we start holding on to memories, and start relating current situations to prior situations and to ideas and judgments and all sorts of things that fit us into a certain box. And now this is your self image, this box. And it went from ever expansive, boundless, limitless, to then being structured as we get older, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, right? Starts developing that way. And in many ways, my upbringing was very uh, exciting. I played on a hockey team where we won every single fucking year, and I got the opportunity to hit game-winning goals. I was the captain of the team. I got to lead the team in many different ways and got to like really embody and learn leadership through practice. And I would practice at home. I would roll up my carpet in the basement and I would practice stick handling and shots. I would play with the high schoolers in street hockey. So it was like I was in my world, I was good, right? And I felt good and I achieved and succeeded. And when we went into travel, that's when we got our asses checked. I realized how much more talent is out there, and it evolved. It evolved my like I continued to push forward and continued to put time and effort into hockey But then football started taking over and I got more interested in football. So as I progressed in football, I went into college. I succeeded somewhat I succeeded in high school. I was the number one tackler. I was the leader of the defense, captain, one of the captains of the team. Like, by all measures, successful in many ways. We didn't have winning seasons, right? We came from a program that was just not quite there. A lot of talent on the team. A lot of talent on the team. Man, we couldn't get over that image, that identity of this type of program. And I think of like somebody like Deion Sanders coming in and turning that Colorado program around. Like that's his image. That's his self-image. He is on championship teams and runs that way. That's his expectation. That's his standard. That's his self-image. Winners win. Winners continue to win. And so I'll go into my football career and how this has affected me in ways that I'm identifying now, that I've carried that image on into the rest of my career and my life in many ways. So the experience of football, went into college, started playing on a national championship team, junior college, Harper College, and I competed, but then I got challenged, and mentally I wasn't able to handle that challenge, and I just broke down and I left the team. Well, okay. Tried it again the following year, same thing happened. And then took a break, just focused on training, focused on building my career in personal training. Then went to North Central, got on the team, same thing happened. Succeeding in the preseason, making a name for myself through the work ethic, and then I get put out there and it's not quite what I wanted, so mentally I blame them, and I put all the blame on everybody else for it not going the way I wanted it to go. I thought I should start from the get-go. I deserved to start. No, I had to prove myself, right? So longer story short, same thing happened at North Central that happened at Harper, and just had this defeating mentality, of self-defeating mentality, and I was blaming myself. And I look back at it, for a long time I've just considered my college career a failure, and when it wasn't. I had many successes. I had awesome plays in college, and I went to college and played football in college. That 99, what is the crazy, it's a crazy drop off after high school. It's a crazy drop off after middle school, when athletes just stop playing. So most athletes are completely done by high school. And then you go into college and you play, or you train to compete, go into college, all that stuff. Like that's a very, very small percentage. Whether it's Division 3 or Division 1, whatever it is an anomaly compared to the whole. So it's a very small percentage. Now, that is success in and of itself. That is a challenge, something worthy of respecting and just appreciating. What I did though is I looked at the buts. Went to college, but I didn't succeed in this. I went to Division 3, but it wasn't Division 1, right? So it's like you put it here, but you're like, compared to this, it ain't the same. And comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of wholeness. Comparison will fucking cut you down. It will never build you up unless you reframe your image, your self-image. So I look at all those situations and take the butts and I go, fuck that. I'm not going to focus on those. I'm going to focus on the interceptions that I made. I'm going to focus on the goals that I made in hockey. I'm going to focus on the talks and the connections and the moments of like leadership where it got everybody together and we pulled through and we got a win, or we made a play, like those are wins. Those are things that matter. Those are the things you focus on that get you amplified, that get you jacked up, that get you moving in the right direction to elevate yourself, to then get to that next level, to be that you think and coordinate and connect with a higher frequency, which allows you to then dial in a higher self-image, be more tuned into that higher self. So when you focus on those good things, you could see how it just got into a state of flow where it was just like right there. And that's what matters. That's how you get yourself continuously in the state of flow and you elevate yourself, is that you just start connecting and setting up reminders and hold on to the memories of success in a way that allows you to create the next success, the next development, the next level of you, that next level self-image. Getting in touch and in tune with that is going to make everything else easier. It's going to make everything else so much easier to achieve, because now you're not going against the current, but you're turning the current in the right direction and turning yourself with the current. And now you can look at a path of who you were previously, the one who looked at the buts, the buts. You can see where that path goes. It's going to go down that same fucking path that you continued to walk for months or if not years. And you can see the trend, or the shackles that you've been holding on to, the weights that you've been holding on to, the unnecessary things that are holding us back. You can see how that version was just continuously, he wouldn't let go. His hand was hurting, but he wouldn't let go of the briefcase or whatever it is, right? Couldn't drop the weight. Because if he dropped it, maybe he was a failure. Whatever the judgment is, but you can see that path and where that version is going, right? And then think about the one who thinks about all the successes, removes the buts, and just focuses on the successes and the anomalies and the unique things that you actually have created and done and experienced. And now you look at that and go, holy shit, that's a different version. And now you start looking at that version and go, what can be possible with that version? You see a whole different path that elevates, that is enlightened, that shines. You know, as my son says, he goes, it's full of clovers, kittens, and muffins. Like, you know, my dog Clover and kittens and muffins. So like, it literally is like everything and anything you want. It's the money, it's the success, it's the enlightenment, it's the peace, it's the adventure, it's the the physique, the relationship, the love, the connection, it's the sex, it's the unknown and embracing it, it's the faith, it's the journey, it's the gratitude for it all. Like, you start seeing all that and it's like, damn, that's a whole nother level. I want to be there. That's what I got to focus on. So now mold and create that image, the one who has it all, the one who looks at everything and sees everything in the past as you can pick apart and choose your memories and let go of the other memories. Just as you've gotten over the ex, you've gotten over the situation in business, because that's why you succeed, because you let go of that shit. You don't let those things affect your business. You don't let those things affect whatever you're world class at. You don't let it affect you. You carry on, you move on, you find another way. It's another shot. You're not worried about the buts or the previous shots or whatever else happened. You're in here now. This is who you are, right? So now you can maintain and hold that, and it's actually going to elevate whatever you're world class at. You're not going to lose out on by shifting into this new identity. You're actually going to elevate it. So what is that version of you? Who is that version, right? Are you just a coach, or are you a world class coach? Are you a business owner or a world class business owner? Are you a sales executive, or are you the fucking sales executive? Are you a dad, or the best fucking dad in the world? Are you a husband, or the fucking greatest husband in the world? Are you a man, or the greatest fucking man in the world? Do you fuck? Or do you have the greatest fucking sex in the world? Do you lift? Or do you have the greatest fucking workouts in the world? Like, that's everything. And now everything you do, this version of you, everything he does, he makes money. Everything. Because let's say you make money in business, whatever it is you do. If you take care of your health and dial in your body and get connected with spirit and get it in tune with this identity, this self-image, man, you're energized, you're focused, you're dialed the fuck in. Like everything feels good. Taking care of things that used to hurt, now they don't hurt anymore. And I feel better. And holy shit, I'm moving better. I'm feeling better. I'm looking better. I'm more energized. I'm clearer headed. Getting better sleep. My sex drive is going up. I'm fired up. I feel fucking great. I'm looking great. Awesome. Okay. Boom. You got that in check. And you're working towards that. And you got to embody that image as you go through it. And you may not be there yet. But if you continue to think that way, you will achieve it. You will have it. You will be at peace. You will be in tune. That's the spiritual health, right? You're one with God. You're in tune with your mission. What is your mission? What is your vision? What is the thing that you're working towards? Why does the business exist ultimately to achieve what? It's got to be something big, bigger than family. It's got to be something monumental, something huge, right? That gets you fucking amped and excited and like driven and feeling it from the heart. You get in touch with that, now everything starts shaping differently. Because you're going to go into sales conversations differently. You're going to have different conversations with your wife or your girlfriend. You're going to have different conversations with your sons, your daughters, and you're going to have different conversations with yourself. You're going to have different conversations with your family and coworkers and colleagues, associates, everybody, right? You got to get in touch and in tune with all of that. Maybe repetitive, but it is you got to feel it. You got to be in touch with it. You got to really tune in with it. Once when you get those things lined up, that's how you start making more money. You realize that, oh, your health is tied to the effects of your business. So when I'm healthier, more energized, looking better, feeling better, performing better, I make more money or I attract more money. Business grows, everybody develops. The mission is we're completing that mission. We're focused on that mission. Your vision is being completed, right? All those things you're working and you're making progress, right? You're making progress all the way through. And now this progress, this progress, this progress leads to more deeper connection with your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, your clients. You're just more connected. You're more in touch and in tune. So you're going to feel more. You're going to experience more, all in good ways. And yes, you're going to be challenged. Yes, you're going to have situations where this comes up that used to trigger that version of you. Now you got a new self image that I don't get triggered. It doesn't happen. It's just not a part of me. It's not what happens. I can feel that. I can know that doubt, anger, fear, frustration, annoyance is going to be there. I can see it. Doesn't mean I pay attention to it. Right? I focus on this. Damn, I'm gonna focus on the light. I'm gonna focus on the gratitude. I'm gonna focus on the things that ultimately make me feel better, which gets me to think better, which gets me to ultimately act better. That version, that's the self image I focus on. So now you start filtering everything through that self image. Your nervous system starts creating different circuitry and starts aligning differently. Getting some wind here. And then ultimately, that's how you create a new reality. So, self image, if you can hone in on this, dial this in, you're going to make life a lot easier. A lot easier. This is really, you got to go hard on this to make it easy, right? You got to go hard on the self-image, get clear on that. Because if you don't change, nothing changes. So have you systematically intentionally become aware of who you view yourself as and how you think and what thoughts you have and what beliefs you have and what feelings those beliefs generate and what those feelings ultimately, what actions follow, what habits are established because of those feelings that are consistently felt, and then ultimately what results are you getting because of those actions. Now when you get that, you start looking at your results, you can go, my identity is dialed the fuck in or something's off. I think we can all look at our lives for sure and go, something needs to be tightened up. Something needs to be fixed. Something needs to be addressed. You're not at the level of peace, at the level of just whole completely, and even good with all the things. You got to be good with all things, even when it's not, we got overcast right now. We got rain coming in. It's not sunny. I'd prefer it to be sunny, but I'm not down, right? Something as little as that, as something as big as a deal that you want to go through, but it's not going through, or the wife or girlfriend not understand, there's a miscommunication and a ball was dropped somewhere, or something was done or said that just like created some polarity and pulled some peace away. All right, so now you have to look at that, reflect upon that, and learn from it to ultimately apply a different identity, which creates a different thought, which creates a different feeling, which creates a different action, which creates a different result. And then now you're starting to get more in alignment with that self-image that you identified, you've called out, you've labeled as Justin 2.0 or world class man, world class coach, world class whatever it may be, world class father, right? All those things. World class networker, world class marketer. World class leader. Like, get in touch, label it, give it power. If you don't label something, you can't call it by its name, it's not going to give you attention. Just like in real life. If I go if I go to that guy and I get his name and then 5 minutes later I don't remember his name and I go up to him and talk to him, or I go see him in the street or in an event or somewhere in the gym 2 weeks later and I don't call him by name, there's less of a connection there. But if I call him by name, there's going to be some deeper rooted connection there, which means there's more intention, there's more consciousness that is appreciated. You ultimately get more back as a result of that attention that you give, right? So give it a name, because it's going to give you more attention because you gave it more attention. That's going to lead to, you're going to receive more because of that. You're going to get more information, more dialed in with that image, because he thinks at that level. And then it starts to build from there. It starts to build. So journal this out. You want to put who you've been, put that image down, figure out the yeah buts that you've been saying in the past. I identify those yeah buts because you can correlate to a success, something that has been like, fuck, that's awesome by anybody else's standard. But for some reason, we just diminish it, knock it down, say that it's not that big a deal. No, get the big deals within the thing that doesn't seem like a big deal. The plays, the individual moments, the little successes, the big wins, the little wins, all the things in between. Once when you identify those, now you're generating a different frequency, with this higher frequency, you can still reflect upon, you can see more of that old image, even though you haven't identified the new image yet. You're thinking from a higher frequency now. Now you can see this old image a little bit more for what it is. Once when you generate that momentum. So you figured out the yeah buts, but then flip it to where you start to elevate yourself and pull yourself out of the yeah buts and get into the wins, the successes. Then you start to generate the thoughts and the belief systems that that old image held. Good, bad, and different. List them all out. Financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all those things. Financially, now you get into the feelings. And by the way, pause this, go back, and hear this again if you need to, because I'm throwing a lot at you. So the feelings, generate the feelings from those thoughts and those beliefs, and then I want you to list out the actions and habits that are developed from the thoughts, beliefs, feelings into the habits and actions, and then what results have been created from that. It could be good, could be indifferent, could be bad, right? So, you know, as a cost to my yeah buts and focusing on that old image, that self image, it has limited my financial earning potential, it has limited my amount of adventure and travel that I want to do. It has limited aspects of things, but it's also allowed me to connect deeply with my son and connect deeply with myself and allow myself to get to this state to be able to work through it and ultimately guide others to do the same damn thing. Because when I win, you win, and when you win, I win, and we all win. That's the goal. That's the rising tides raise all ships. So you get that all squared up, and that's the results ultimately that that image is creating. Now flip it and take what you want and bring it into this new image, and then remove or flip or 180 that shit, spin it around where it's like, all right, limited financial outlook, you know, heart, you know, whatever it may be. Getting fit is hard, can't find time. Okay, take that shit and goes, he makes time, he is fit, he loves it, you know, it's easy, you know, it's like just embedded into his system. This is who he is. Okay, now you got a whole different image right there. That's a different belief system, that's a different thought process, which leads to what feelings do you feel when you think that way, and really feel them, really dig into them, really actually feel that shit, those thoughts, those beliefs, and those feelings. Now what actions does he take? Instead of not posting, he posts. Instead of calling off, he shows up. Instead of winging the schedule, he schedules his workouts out, right? Instead of ordering here, he orders there. Instead of not taking supplements, he takes supplements, right? Whatever it may be. Now, what results come from that? Lean, X amount of weight, lifts this, trains this amount of times per week. Business is, you know, doubling. You know, there's more freedom. You're deeper, better connected with your wife, your girlfriend, your family. Your kids are in line, you know, and everybody's working together and everybody's looking up to you, and it's dialed the fuck in. Okay, now what's the next? Right? You're building that passion project. You're building that whatever thing that you're doing this business for to fulfill the vision. Get clear with your mission and vision, by the way. Mission is really I call it like the vehicle, like the battle to win the war, which is the vision. The vision is like the bigger picture, the thing that you will never quite accomplish, but you will spend your whole entire life working on. Mine is to make the world a healthier, happier place. How I do it is through coaching, is through health and business optimization and all these different ways to optimize and really redefine self-image, right? To get you here, get you to the next level. So the mission is helping men be the best versions of themselves, to empower men. I put it simply, to empower men holistically. I make a joke too, to preserve the male gender of the human species, right? That's what we're doing here. So now that you got that identity, you need to get clear with them, and you need to get in touch with them, and you need to label him, whatever that is. Label his ass. Call him a name. Bruce Wayne has Batman. You get my point. All right, it's getting dark out. I'm gonna time this out. Let me know if this was helpful, if this makes sense. Put it to use. It will get you to the next level. That's what it's all about. All right, y'all. Peace out.